Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, a wooden cup holder for your takeout coffee orders. Well, from time to time, I think everybody goes through a coffee shop drive-through and grabs themselves a cup of their favorite coffee. And they always come in these cardboard cups, and of course they're hot. And at least for me, I drink coffee black, so that cup gets rather warm. So what I was thinking of doing today on the show is we're going to use some scrap stock, and we're going to make ourselves a handle to use with our cardboard cups. So how to go about doing this? Well, let's go over to the bench and start off by drawing ourselves some kind of a pattern. Now, what we need to do is we need to establish first the part that is going to hold our cup, which would be the hole. And I think what we need to do is we need to get a hole centered here. And I think the hole is going to be 3 inches in diameter. So we have our crosshairs there, and we're just going to put our compass in the middle, and we will draw a 3-inch diameter circle. Now this will be the hole that our paper cup sits in. Well, of course, you can't have it in a piece this big, so we need a ring. And what I'm thinking here on this ring is that we're going to make it 1/2 inch thick. So if that is the case, we need to extend that out 1/2 inch, and that will mean that we need our outside dimension to be a 4-inch circle. Now we will also have a section that will hold our handle, and we're going to place that right down here. And I think what we're going to do is possibly come out from this mark here. We're going to come out roughly another inch and place a line across there. And from there, we are going to make this 1 inch across. So 1/2 inch out from either side. We'll place a little mark there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to join this part here, those lines, up with the edge or the outer edge of our 4-inch circle. Now you can see where this would be where our handle would go, but it's just a ring of wood. So how do we get a handle? Well, this is where it gets a little funky. Well, we're going to be making this at a 1/2 inch stock. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need here on the inside of the cup a notch that will be 1/2 inch wide, and it will allow us to insert a handle. Now you have to remember, guys, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here, so bear with me. I'm not sure exactly of the depth of this, but I'm going to bring it back at 1/2 inch, basically at the outside edge of our 4-inch circle. So this here will get cut out, as will this. Looking at this, I'm thinking this part that extends may be a little too long. So I'm going to shrink that back by another 1/2 inch right there. And I think that will be a little better for our design. While we're at it, we'll also round off these corners because we don't want that sharp edge. We want it to be smooth. So we'll just get a circle template. In this case, I'm using a 30mm circle template, but that's just what I had on hand. Yeah, check that out. Kenny's doing metric measurements, 30 millimeters. All right. So here we have the basic gist of our holder that will hold our cup. There's a specific method of how this has to be cut. And for that, we're going to head over to the scroll saw. Well, I've applied some spray adhesive to the back of my pattern, if you want to call it that. And I've allowed it to tack up for 3 minutes, and then I've stuck my pattern onto a piece of 1/2-inch ply. Now, the reason I'm choosing ply for this project is strictly for its strength. With the reversing grains, it gives it a lot of strength, and there's less of a chance of it snapping around here while you're holding your drink. Well, what I've done is I have tilted my blade to the left. For you, if your table tilts, you will tilt it to the right by 4 degrees. And we are going to cut the interior circle, the one that will hold our cup, and we need to cut it in a counterclockwise direction. Now that we have that done, we can do the exterior cut, again, counterclockwise all around the perimeter of our design. And now that we have that done, we can remove our piece. We're going to have to do an interior cut. So get it set up for one like this and reset your blade now, or in my case, your table, or in my case, the blade. Reset it back to 90 degrees. And once you get that done, cut the recess that we marked here for our handle. Well, now you've got the ring now that holds your cup. Give it a good sanding and just put it aside for now. Now we're going to work on the handle. We've got another piece, a 1/2-inch ply. This is 4 inches by roughly 3 1/4. And to start it off, we need a line that is at 4 degrees off of square. Now this will be the line where our cup rides. So this will be the edge of the cup kind of thing. Well, now from your original line at 4 degrees, we're going to place a mark at 1/2 inch. We're going to place another one at 1 1/4 inches, and then we are going to place another one at 5/8. And then taking our bevel, we are going to mark at the 5/8 mark. We're going to mark a line down here, and then we're going to mark a line at our 1 1/4 inches, just like that. However, this line at 1/2 inch, we are going to measure at 90 degrees and just draw it lightly there, like that. Now that may seem a little confusing, but it's not that bad, because now we need to draw some circles, and hopefully you'll understand a little more in just a bit. So now, using your center line there, we're going to line it up along that line at 4 degrees, and we're going to draw an 1 1/4 inch circle. Just like this. Half circle, really. Okay. Now, that half circle is now our reference point as to where we put our notch for this whole thing to fit together. So we're just going to see what that measurement is, and we're going to place a horizontal line there. It looks like it's 2 3/4. Just like that. Now that will be the top edge of our cup ring. So we need to come down another 1/2 inch because that's the thickness of our plywood. So we go from 2 3/4 down to 2 1/4 and put another line across. Well, from there, centered in our 1 1/4 inch hole, we're just going to line this up and we're going to place a 7/8 of an inch hole right there like that. And that, of course, will be the ring to hook our finger. If that is not a big enough hole for your finger, then use a hole template and measure it and see what size you need. So we've got that hole. This is now where we hold our cup. So now that we have that done, we need to figure out something down in this area. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down just 3/16 of an inch from that mark there, that second 1/2 inch mark that we made. And we're going to use the circle template. I think we're going to go a little smaller than that other one. And we're going to go, we're going to go 3/4, it looks like. So we're going to take a 3/4 circle template and we're going to draw right here, like I said, 3/16 down on that 4-degree line. We're going to draw a circle. And then we're going to come down from the bottom of our piece of board, again 3/16 up, and we're going to draw another 3/4 circle. And once we get that done, we can join the outer edges of those two circles together. And then lastly, using the 1 1/4 circle, once again, we're going to round off this bottom corner. Well, confused yet? Well, let's see if we can't straighten out some of that confusion. This area here is going to get cut out, as will this area here and this circle. The rest of it will be cut just as it is. I believe, round off that one corner just to give it something a little easier to on the fingers kind of thing. So let's just round this one here off ever so slightly. The other one at the top is already rounded. And we can just take this over to the scroll saw, and with our blade set at 90 degrees, we're going to cut this all out. Now, for all of the cuts on the project today, I've been using a number 7 reverse tooth blade. So for those of you who want to try this, that blade will do you just fine for cutting through 1/2 inch ply. And with those interior cuts done, we can now do the perimeter. Well, now that you've got the handle piece cut, kind of looks like something you should be using in a fight, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so now that you've got this piece cut out, give it a good sanding all the way around, take off any sharp edges, and then I'll show you how the thing goes together. So let's have a look at what we have, and what we have is our original ring. The ring is cut at a 4-degree angle on the inside. We also have our brass knuckle, our handle, and we have our large Tim Hortons cup. So the assembly of this is really nothing special. It's just a matter of connecting these two tabs, this one here and this one right here. And they just slide in together. You want to make sure that the angle here of your cup on your cut is kind of like this. And once you have this held, you can see there, or maybe you can't, how I have it held with my thumb just temporarily. You just drop your cup into your cup holder, and there you go. Look at that. That is absolutely sexy. Check that out. You can carry it around, you can dump it on yourself, you can do whatever you want. Now, I don't know what you think, but I kind of dig it. And there you have it. A wooden cup holder for your disposable paper cups. Guys, I don't know about you, but whenever I get a coffee at the local coffee shop, it's so hot and I can barely touch the cup and it hurts my hands. I drink it black, so I'm getting it at the same temperature they're brewing, which seems to be kind of, well, a little too hot for my sensitive hands sort of thing. So this is a handy little device, and it's quite comfortable, believe it or not. Plenty of room to still drink from the cup, and yet it holds it nice and secure. That 4-degree angle that I cut it at was actually measured directly off of this cup. So it fits like a glove, it wedges right in there perfectly, and there's no worries about it coming off while you're using it. Guys, this is a lot of fun. I whipped this off, including making the pattern, in about an hour and a half. And that includes, of course, all the filming. It doesn't take much, and although we were a little bit shaky on the pattern and what we wanted to do in the first place, once we really got moving and you could see the motion that, or the direction that this project was going, and you can see the final product, hopefully now you will understand a little bit more what direction I was taking for the pattern, and you can apply what I have given you, regardless of how confusing and shaky it was, and apply it into making your own. Guys, tons of fun. It's great to be on the scroll saw, playing around with that again. I haven't really done a scroll saw project in a while, and it's nice to get one that is not only fun, but it's functional. If you want to try making one out of real wood, I mean like solid timber sort of thing, you can. I would just pay special attention to grain directions, because you would hate to be holding this and have it snap at the grain and spill a hot coffee on your lap. You really don't want to do that, and that's why I used plywood, extra strength, that I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's project. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Click that button down there, or the bell, so that you don't miss any notifications of future shows. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you're going to join me next week when I bring you yet another woodworking video. I kind of want a coffee now, just to try this out.